The last stand. The sky above Earth burned red as the Empire's warships tore through the atmosphere. Admiral Vorn stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the planet below with cold satisfaction. In 40 years of conquest, he had never seen a species so weak. "Their orbital defenses are destroyed," his second officer reported. "Ground forces are retreating. Victory is complete." Vorn nodded. Earth would fall like all the others. The Galactic Empire had crushed 1,000 worlds. This small blue planet would be no different. On Earth's surface, smoke rose from burning cities. In a deep bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, President Harris sat at a long table surrounded by military leaders. The news was all bad. "Our fleet is gone," General Stone said quietly. "We lost 300 ships in 6 hours. They have 3,000 more waiting above us. They are demanding our surrender," the secretary added. "We have 24 hours to answer." Silence filled the room. Every person there knew what surrender meant. The Empire did not make slaves. They made examples. Earth's people would be scattered across 1,000 worlds, never to see their home again. Harris looked at each face around the table. "What about the Black Fleet?" General Stone leaned forward. "It is ready. But, sir, we have only 50 ships. They have thousands." "Numbers are not everything," Harris said. "We built those ships for one purpose: to make them afraid." In orbit, Admiral Vorn prepared his victory message when a junior officer called out. "Sir, sensors are detecting new contacts. Ships emerging from the dark side of the moon." Vorn barely looked up. "More human ships? Destroy them." But something in the officer's voice made him pause. "Sir, these ships, they are different. The energy readings are massive. I have never seen anything like this." Vorn turned to his screen and felt his blood run cold. 50 black ships emerged from behind the moon. They were smaller than his warships, but moved with deadly grace. Strange energy surrounded each vessel, making them flicker in and out of sensor range. "What are those?" Vorn whispered that the Black Fleet had no name before this day. Humanity built them in secret, in hidden bases on the dark side of the moon and deep in asteroid fields. They used every desperate innovation, every dangerous technology the Empire had forbidden. Captain Cole commanded the lead ship, the Defiant. He was young for a captain, only 32, but he had trained his whole life for this moment. Around him, his crew worked in silence. They knew this was a one-way mission. "All ships, this is Cole," he spoke into the comms. "Remember why we are here. They came to our home. They killed our people. They think we will surrender. Today, we teach them fear." 50 voices answered as one. No surrender. No retreat. The Black Fleet accelerated toward the Empire's formation. Vorn watched in disbelief as the human ships charged directly at his fleet. Such tactics were suicide. No species fought this way. All ships opened fire. Vorn commanded. Energy beams and missiles filled the space between the fleets. But the Black Fleet did not slow down. They moved through the fire like ghosts, their shields absorbing damage that should have destroyed them. Then Cole gave the order. "Fire everything." The Black Fleet unleashed weapons the Empire had never seen. Focused plasma beams that could cut through 3 ships at once. Missiles that moved faster than light for brief moments. Magnetic cannons that pulled enemy ships out of formation. In 30 seconds, 20 Empire warships exploded. Vorn stood frozen on his bridge as alarms screamed around him. This was not possible. These humans were supposed to be weak, defeated. "All ships retreat to high orbit," he ordered, but the Black Fleet followed, hunting them like wolves chasing prey. And for the first time in the Empire's long history, Admiral Vorn felt something he had never known before. Fear. Fear spreads. Admiral Vorn retreated to the far side of the moon, regrouping his remaining ships. He had lost 30 vessels in the first engagement. 30 ships destroyed by a force 1/10 his size. His hands shook as he recorded his report to the Empire's high command. "The humans possess unknown technology," he said into the recorder. "Request immediate reinforcements." The response came 12 hours later. Fleet Commander Drax appeared on the screen, his face twisted in anger. "You lost 30 ships to 50 primitive vessels? This is unacceptable. You have 5,000 ships in your battle group. Use them. Crush these humans." The transmission ended before Vorn could respond. He looked at his officers. They all wore the same expression now: doubt. "Prepare for full assault," Vorn ordered. "We end this today." But the Black Fleet had not been idle. Captain Cole stood in the Defiance war room, studying holographic maps of the solar system. Around him, the other captains waited. "They will come with everything," Cole said. "They cannot afford to look weak, so we do not fight them here." Captain Reed, commander of the Vengeance, stepped forward. "Where then?" Cole smiled. It was not a happy smile. Everywhere else. The Black Fleet split into 10 groups of 5 ships each. They activated drives that bent space itself, technology humanity had developed in desperate secrecy. In moments, they vanished from Earth's orbit. Admiral Vorn led his massive fleet toward Earth, ready to bombard the planet into submission. But when he arrived, the Black Fleet was gone. "Find them!" Vorn screamed. Reports started coming in from across the sector. A supply convoy attacked near Jupiter. 5 Empire ships destroyed. A mining operation at Saturn's rings, completely eliminated. A communication station, reduced to debris. The Black Fleet struck everywhere at once, then vanished before reinforcements could arrive. They did not fight with honor. They did not follow the rules of war. They appeared, killed, and disappeared like ghosts. Within a week, Vorn had lost 200 ships. Not in glorious battle, but in ambushes and hit-and-run attacks. His crews grew nervous. They jumped at shadows. They saw human ships in every sensor ghost dot in the Empire's capital. 300 light-years away, the High Council gathered in emergency session. Fleet Commander Drax stood before them, his confidence gone. "The human resistance is unlike anything we have faced," Drax reported. "They do not value their own lives. Every engagement, they sacrifice ships to destroy ours. Yesterday, a single human vessel rammed one of our carriers. Both were destroyed, but the carrier held 3,000 crew. The human ship had only 50. Council leader Thane leaned forward. 50 humans traded their lives to kill 3,000 of ours? What manner of species does this? One that refuses to accept defeat, Drax said quietly. The reports grew worse each day. The Black Fleet had destroyed a repair station, stranding 50 Empire ships without fuel. They had ambushed a troop transport, killing 10,000 soldiers. They had infiltrated an ammunition depot and caused an explosion that wiped out an entire supply fleet. The Empire had never fought an enemy like this. Other species surrendered when the cost grew too high. They calculated odds and chose survival. But humans seemed to have no such calculation. They fought with pure rage, accepting any cost for even small victories. Captain Cole pushed his crew hard. They slept in shifts, ate at their stations, lived in their combat suits. The Defiant showed damage for a dozen battles. But they kept fighting. "How long can we keep this up?" Reed asked during a brief meeting between attacks. Cole looked at his old friend. Both men had aged years in the past weeks. "As long as it takes. Every day we fight is another day. Earth stays free." "We have lost 15 ships," Reed said. 15 crews. 750 people dead. "And they have lost 500 ships," Cole replied. 20,000 enemy dead. The math works in our favor. Reed shook his head. This is not about math anymore. They are afraid of us now. I can see it in how they fight. They hesitate. They retreat when they should press forward. Cole nodded slowly. Good. Fear is a weapon too. Let them learn what it means to face humans who have nothing left to lose. Across the Empire, soldiers whispered stories of the Black Fleet, ships that appeared from nowhere, humans who never retreated, a species that chose death over surrender. And slowly, surely, the Empire's unshakable confidence began to crack. The Council called another meeting. This time, the question was not how to defeat humanity. It was whether the cost was worth paying. The Empire learns Fleet Commander Drax stood before the assembled armada. 10,000 ships, pulled from every corner of the Empire. The largest fleet ever gathered in Imperial history. All to crush one small planet. Today we end this war, Drax announced. No more running. No more fear. We jump to Earth together and finish what we started. The fleet moved as one, tearing through space toward the human home world. It would take 3 days to reach Earth, 3 days to prepare for the final battle. On Earth, President Harris received the news in silence. Every telescope, every sensor, every spy satellite showed the same thing. An unstoppable wave of ships heading their way. We cannot win this fight, General Stone said. Even the Black Fleet cannot defeat 10,000 ships. Harris looked at the general. Then we do not fight to win. We fight to make them regret ever coming here. Captain Cole gathered the remaining 35 ships of the Black Fleet. They had started with 50. Now only these survived, battered and scarred from endless combat. They are coming with everything, Cole told his captains. This is the end, one way or another. But before we die, we are going to hurt them. Hurt them so badly, they never forget Earth. Captain Reed spoke up. We have one chance. While their main fleet travels to Earth, their home world is almost undefended. We could strike there. Silence filled the room. To attack the Empire's heart, while their own world faced destruction, seemed insane. But Cole understood immediately. They think we will defend Earth to the last, Cole said. They think we are trapped, desperate. But we are not defending. We are hunters. And hunters strike where the prey is weakest. The Black Fleet made its decision. 20 ships would stay to defend Earth. 15 would jump to the Empire's home world, a planet called Throne. Cole led the 15 ships on the deepest strike ever attempted. They jumped through 5 systems, avoiding patrols and sensor nets. 3 days of silent running, hiding in asteroid fields and nebula clouds, moving closer to the heart of the Empire. Meanwhile, Drax's armada arrived at Earth. The 20 defending ships of the Black Fleet waited in orbit, joined by every remaining human vessel that could still fly. Civilian transports with weapons welded to their hulls. Mining ships turned into missile platforms. Even space stations had detached and moved into defensive positions. Drax stared at the pathetic defense force. Maybe 200 ships total against his 10,000. They are brave, he admitted. But bravery is not enough. All ships, attack formation. The battle for Earth began with fire filling the sky. Human ships threw themselves at the Empire's fleet with desperate fury. A transport rammed a destroyer. A mining ship detonated its reactor in the middle of an enemy formation. The 20 Black Fleet ships fought like demons, taking impossible odds and somehow surviving through pure skill and determination. But they were losing. Slowly, inevitably, the Empire's numbers told. Then, 300 light-years away, Cole's 15 ships emerged from jump space directly above Throne. The Empire's home world sprawled below them, beautiful and undefended. They thought we would never dare, Cole said quietly. Today they learn. Humanity dares everything. The 15 ships struck at Throne's orbital facilities. Weapons platforms, space elevators, communication arrays, all destroyed in minutes. Cole did not target civilian areas, but he made sure the Empire's leaders saw human ships burning their military installations. Then, he broadcast a message on all frequencies. This is Captain Cole of Earth's Black Fleet. Your Armada attacks our home while we attack yours. You can win at Earth. You have the numbers. But we will be here at Throne, making you pay. And if you destroy Earth, we will never stop. We will haunt you forever. Every world you own, we will strike. Every ship you build, we will destroy. You may kill us all eventually, but the cost will break your empire. On his flagship above Earth, Drax received the message and felt his certainty crumble. He looked at the human ships still fighting below, still refusing to surrender despite impossible odds. Then he looked at the reports from Throne, his home, now under attack. The Empire had won battles before. But victory against humans meant only more war, endless war, until both sides were destroyed. Drax gave the order he never thought he would speak. All ships, ceasefire. Open communication channels to the human fleet. The guns fell silent. In the sudden quiet, Drax spoke directly to the humans. We will talk. No surrender. But we will talk. 2 months later, the Black Fleet returned to Earth, not as conquerors, but as heroes who had won something more valuable than victory. They had won respect, and they had won humanity's freedom to stand equal among the stars. The End Asterisk.